Enjoy the first part of the video of the how. Now I'm going to dive deeper into the why, philosophically and theoretically, for your viewing pleasure only, and for no other reason, other than you may want to know why. Well, we were born to be wild. We were different. Didn't go to the church with all the other kids. Had to lie, tell everybody we were religious of some denomination or other. And they made an example out of me. And basically, you know, as an adolescent, as a teenager, that sticks with you, you know. You try to market your art to the billionaires, the quote-unquote haves of the haves and have-nots, who have an immeasurable amount of wealth and disposable income to spend on art. And the art was deemed a threat because they would have you believe they stood in school, they stayed in school, they worked hard, they started their business, they went to Harvard, and they were doing everything right in life, and they made good, smart investment choices, and you know, or just obeyed orders, did what everyone else in their family did. No disrespect, but not me and my brother, not us. Nope. We were raised differently than all the other kids around here. So I asked myself the question, why am I running around with a shopping cart delivering groceries, having the time of my life while doing so? If I don't say it so bluntly. It's because, like my mom said, Ollie, in life, you'll find everything works out for the best. You can't always get what you want, but sometimes you get what you need. Now, you can't always get what you want, but if you try sometime, you'll find you get what you need. And now there's a little app, and you press a button, it sparks. Be great if you could just, when you pass by somebody, I know there's probably an invention of this already, I think, amongst the gay community, but it'd be great, you know, if you could just, you see a pretty girl passing by, you could just press a button, and if she likes you, she'll spark and she'll twinkle. This way, in our society, I think we would probably get along a lot better, because from the way things are going now in our culture in America, people are so cold they don't even say good morning, let alone they're apprehensive to shake your hand or embrace or convey any type of emotion, lest it be recorded or misinterpreted as some type of politically incorrect or unwanted advance or inappropriate comment. So the corporate world has now permeated our society and our culture at large, so people seem to think that they're in the office when they're in public. And it would be nice, you know, if you had this little sparkly thing, you know, but in any event, you know, I'm not one to invent software and become a billionaire, you know, like that idea I just had, or turn around money invest in it, because that's just not basically what I found to be interesting in life. So why has to do with a lot of, you know, what I just basically demonstrated was my ability to be creative and think outside the box and not necessarily perceive things in the same way as everybody else does. And to have, for one reason or another, basically culturally abducted, culturally adopted Native American religion, if you will, or folklore, or belief systems, or non-religion of the religiosity of worshiping the land and nature and seeing spirits and different things and living gods and all the creatures and insects that we know that walk upon the earth and fly in the sky. That sort of thing really resonated with me, and I thought ideologically that would be the best path for me, was just to remain in the forest until I found a woman magically appearing by a river who would make love to me and have a family, and I just would live in the woods in the forest, and maybe through the permission of some Native American tribe be allowed to hang out on their land, because it became very clear to me at an early age that you had to have money to own land here, and you can't just kind of crash out, and it's like a cop-out, my parents would say. Not having money, not having a job, you know, and didn't quite work that way for the Native Americans too well. Worked very well for thousands of years up until the last, like, 400 years or so. So I had that conflict as an adolescent where you choose to go to school, cut your hair, act normally, behave, college, get a job, become a member of society, pay taxes, you know, and you know, out in the woods somewhere, you know, hope for the best. And maybe that's why. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to let things define me. You know, I don't want to let tragedy, death, wrongful incarceration, being wrongfully accused of things, being treated like some type of wild monkey that you throw in a cage because of a plant that grows in the ground, you know, the way it smells, and my love affair with this plant. So, my country, 'tis of thee, didn't really quite demonstrate to me it was all about me being free, so much as it was about the USA Incorporated. So, I mean, it doesn't really make sense to ask the question why, because I don't know why. I don't know why. Oh, why? I don't know why. So, if that doesn't answer your question, I don't know why. Oh, why? I'm running around with a shopping cart full of groceries and then on the highway. But it's my way. Fuck you, pay me. Yep. Or, s'il te plaît, I don't even need to ask, actually. The money just kind of flows through the app, which is pretty cool. Yep. Somebody told me that this is how I'd be making money, going shopping, buying groceries, picking up people's prescriptions, and what have you. This is something I would just do normally throughout the course of the day, if not every day, while taking care of family. I wouldn't have believed them. And the same thing happened when I realized that I could work from home on a computer and basically get paid to make videos and evaluate different products. Nobody believed me at first, and I couldn't believe myself. And when I went back to work in an office, they were like, "Well, wow, how come he gets to work from home?" And well, it's Hurricane Sandy, and he was an indispensable. That was a long time ago. It was when it first really became popular in New York. This whole remote thing, and I'm trying to remember what year that was. Probably 2013. I'm thinking Hurricane Sandy, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was around 2013, something like that. And I was working in the corporate world, working for the mayor of New York City, who owned this company while he was the mayor. Worked his way from about 58 billion net worth to about 85 billion during the almost 5 years I was there, I imagine, working for this company, until me and some colleagues get together and sued him for unpaid overtime, which I digress. Point was, doing this, and started doing market research, college degree, multilingual, professional translator. Je dis quelque chose en français, je dis ça en anglais tout de suite, correctement. That means I can translate anything you said in English into French immediately, correctly, without any accent or hesitation. And there's very few Americans that can do that, so I was much needed in this company. Why on earth would I not want to work there? This is the greatest lifestyle you could ever have. You have the keys to the city, you have this cozy little salary, unfortunately, which kept everybody just miserable enough to keep working there long enough, putting in so many years of their life to think that they would get somewhere, when really you'd have to have a degree or some kind of resume, that's miles long, to get anywhere in that company, or have spent 25 years there, which unfortunately was just not for me. And I got so tired of staring at the computer. I worked for Microsoft folks. I did the tech support thing, believe it or not. I didn't have to learn how to type until I was 25 years old. Didn't know anything about computers, video games. Parents were play outside kind of kid. Didn't buy us an Atari and shit like that, you know. I was the kid that died first and came over your house. You'd be up all night playing video games. Oh, it's Ollie's turn. Get 2 minutes and be dead. And I kind of geeked out, I guess about 20 years ago when the PlayStation and shit, whatever came out. I played that for a little while and I just got sick and tired because it just felt like being at work, you know, staring at a computer. And, you know, if somebody told me you could sit on your ass and get paid and sit in an office, put on a tie and shit, you go there like half asleep, you know, and do your job. I've never believed neither because I was working on skyscrapers and boats and doing all kinds of stuff just to make a living, you know, just to survive, you know, with my hands. And my dad always told me, you know, Ollie, if you work with your hands, you know, you'll have skills to be indispensable. And that couldn't be more true today. Now, you know, with AI, even with someone like me who has a bachelor's degree, I was replaced by a computer, by my likeness. And I signed a non-disclosure agreement after non-disclosure agreement away about how AI is basically replacing everyone else's job. You know, there's robots that can do it better than you, and soon there will be a robot doing your job better than you. Doctors, lawyers, engineers, nurses, everybody basically in a field that, you know, required 10 years plus of training and going to school to learn can be made obsolete in a snap of the fingers now with AI. And a robot, you know, people haven't that's not really sunk in yet to the general population. People aren't really quite aware of that. If we don't blow ourselves up first, you know, human beings can use AI for medicine and boundless free clean energy instead of weapons for drones and warfare, which is basically right now happening under our noses in Abilene, Texas. There's these big plants, these big massive compounds are building all this kind of robotic secretive stuff that's just got funded, you know, by the tech giants who got, you know, a big boost, you know, not having to pay much taxes and having unlimited funding basically from Uncle Sam. You know, while the rest of us struggle. It's so unfair and it's such an obscene unequal distribution of wealth that's happening throughout the world. And you know, hopefully people will vote and you know, things will balance themselves out and we'll have a democracy, you know, again. But right now it doesn't really feel like the people have much of a choice but to keep going to work at these jobs where, you know, had we not been busy blowing each other up and spending World War II and you know, Vietnam and all these other conflicts since then, you know, Afghanistan, Iraq, you know, all this money spent, you know, on massive amounts of military budget, you know, just put our species of evolution, you know, just back 1,000 years. It could be 1,000 years accelerated already. We could already have had the ability to alter our lifespan, our telomeres. Just have a switch now that they found out you can just keep making telomeres. You can just not age and keep recycling yourself. It's possible, folks. So anyway, why? I suppose I don't know. Maybe, you know, there's a higher power making it so that I shed light and the truth and bring it forth to people like Jesus did. Who knows? You know, I question that myself. Like I don't know how my career paths have chosen. I chose my career path to a certain extent, but then it sort of just chose me. And it's thanks to my little brother. He was the one who suggested I get a YouTube channel in the first place. If it wasn't for my little brother, I probably wouldn't have had I put two and two together and to think of that in that concept like that. Like I didn't really understand how the apps work, the internet at the time either. And a lot of the there's like only about 10,000 or maybe 15,000 now videos that are on there, but it's probably like 100,000 videos I've filmed that are not on my YouTube channel that have to be edited and constructed in such a way as to abide by the channel rules, you know. And that goes too for all the footage that my father had filmed with my brother and I, and my mom too. I mean, as a family, that needs to be uploaded too as a video. It's actually a beautiful kind of story. We're a very unique family in that we filmed everything, or at least my dad filmed us, and I kind of just took over doing that. I just found it kind of cool to just, when you can, film things, especially because I've seen things that I know didn't let me film them for some reason, and I thought I was going crazy. I thought nobody would believe me, and these things told me, don't tell anybody, nobody will believe you anyway. Better not think about it. People think you're crazy, but I've seen things that are not from this earth, and they know damn well before we're going to try to film them, what we're doing. And anyway, I don't know why. Why? Who knows?